stupid. But by God, trying to with duct tape and a hammer sometimes really crosses my mind. How's everybody doing? I just got, my phone has been on Do Not Disturb because I have been editing. Okay. And I'm exhausted. I mean, Howie come in and poked me at noon today because I was up at 8. I had some toast and I was so tired I went right back to sleep. Hey, everybody. And now you've heard me have problems with this septic company in the past. If you remember when I had it pumped for, I think it was our corn roast, 2019. Yeah. And they came, and because I was in a lot of pain, I was on a new medication called tramadol, which we know now no longer works for me. I forgot the date. And so when they showed up, the tank lids weren't uncovered. And so they said, well, I said, I'm really sorry. I said, I thought you weren't supposed to be here till tomorrow. Well, I said, can you come back tomorrow? I said, the lids aren't uncovered. And they said, yeah. They went and phoned, came back, and the woman phoned me. He said, yeah, we'll come back tomorrow. And then they phoned me from their office saying, it's going to cost you $100 more to make us come back. And I kind of understood like $50 for gas or whatever. But, the extra 50, but $100 more. Then when they get here, they didn't remove both lids. There's 2 lids for the septic, and one of them has a vent tube that, you I don't know what it's for. I guess it's to check the septic. But they vacuumed out one tank and then just took the lid off the vent tube and stuck the whole thing down. And it's like it wasn't done properly, right? But the problem is try and get another company in this area to pump a septic. There aren't any. If they are, they're not returning phone calls. So they called me. They had the balls because I was really pissed. They charged me $247. Then they expected them, it was $200 and some dollars. And then they expected me to pay them in cash, right? So I'm not mentioning any names. So when they phoned me back in the summer, earlier in the summer, saying, oh, it's been 2 years. Now, this is what pisses me off. Notice I'm not raging. I'm just ticked. And I'll say hi to everybody in a minute. I got to get this off my chest because it just happened. So they phoned me because the thing is there is a new bylaw that it's really frigging stupid. If you don't get your septic pumped every 2 years, you could be fined up to $5,000 for pollution. Septics, even when they're full, don't pollute the ground. They're called weeping beds for a reason. Okay? It's only if you don't maintain your septic and the septic bed itself breaks down, which is, it just has to be replaced. But they'll charge you $5,000. It really doesn't make sense. You're trying to legislate common sense. Nobody wants, especially here in Quebec, because if my septic were to break down, I would not be able to put in a new septic weeping bed. I would have to put in tanks that have to be pumped every few months. And then you're dealing with how much water you can use in that, because it's expensive to do, right? So they take advantage of the fact that, oh, it's been 2 years, you need your septic pumped. Because of course, if I don't get my septic pumped by them, there's nobody else. And they can phone the township and go, she hasn't had her septic pumped. And they can fine me, which I would fight. Because there's only 2 people living in this house. We could actually, hey dear, we could probably go 4 years without pumping our septic. Easily. I mean, I wouldn't want to go beyond that, but there's just 2 of us, right? And I got a hold of one other septic company, but they were so far away. It was closer to Ottawa. And they said, how many bedrooms do you have? And I said, 2 people live in this house. And they said, how many bedrooms do you have? And I'm thinking, and I said, 4. And they went, well, this is what it's going to cost you. And I went, oh, no. You can't bill me by bedrooms because only 1 bedroom is being used. So that's, use your head, people. But anyway, I got the phone call back in the late spring, early summer saying, oh, it's time for you to have your septic pumped. And I'm like, I really wanted to be nasty to this person. So I booked it. And then it's tomorrow. And Alex didn't come this weekend because we told him not to bother because it was raining off and on all this weekend. The wood can get done another day, and how he did the septic lids. He just took his time. But I'm just getting ready to go on live, and it's 5 to 5, and I get a message because my phone was on Do Not Disturb because I was working, okay? And it's like, oh, I get this message saying, oh, well, we have you booked. You have to call us back before 5 p.m. We have you booked for septic pumping tomorrow. And if you don't call us back and confirm by 5 p.m. on a Sunday, and I got this at 4:30, like I get the message, I found it at 5 to 5, but it was marked at 4:29. So they leave me this message a half an hour beforehand, before they close for the day, saying, if you don't phone and confirm, which I did last week, I phoned and confirmed. Said, if you don't phone and confirm by 5 p.m. today, we won't come tomorrow, and you'll have to rebook. So I phoned. That's why I was a little bit late here. I phoned, and I got their answering machine at 5 to 5. They told me to phone back before 5 o'clock. And then I had to listen to a list that I couldn't understand because the accent was really, really thick. So I had to listen to it twice. And so when I finally got to the proper message, I said, yes, this is so-and-so. This is Bev Foley. This is my phone number. This is where I live. Yes, you are pumping my septic tomorrow. And please make sure that the men who come to pump my septic remove both lids and clean it properly this time. This message is being recorded at 4:57, October 17th, 2021. Because you told me to call back before 5 p.m. Thank you. And I hung up. It's almost like they're trying to piss me off. They're trying to find a reason to have them come back, and so they can bill me again, right? And if you pay cash, of course, it's cheaper, but they quoted me. They said, are you going to pay cash? And this was a while back. I said, yeah. So when I phoned last week to confirm the price, it was $218.45 with tax. So they want me to pay the tax, but pay them in cash so they can pocket the tax. You feel me? So they just might get a check tomorrow because they quoted me cash. Even though I have the cash here, I'm just gonna write them a check just to be a bitch. No, that's not who I am. But the thing is our municipality gives them a coupon so that it doesn't cost me $247. It only costs me $120, right? Because the municipality gives us a coupon that the pumping folks have to go to the municipal office and collect. So I left a message with the municipal office saying, yes, they're coming to pump my septic. Please make sure they have their coupon. So what upsets me the most about the last time they did this is they asked for cash. Then when they showed up, they had to come back. They charged me an extra $100. And I gave them a check. And he went, it's supposed to be cash. I said, if you're charging me an extra $100 plus tax, for coming back a second time because I was ill, you're going to pay the tax. You're going to take a check. So, I mean, you got to be careful because I don't mind paying cash. I pay cash for lots of stuff. But the truth is, this is supposed to be supported by the municipality. And if it's supported by the municipality, they shouldn't be offering cash deals. All right, I've got that off my chest. Hi, everybody. How's it going? Let me pop out the participants list now that everybody's had a chance to say hello. Why isn't my participants list coming up? That's weird. That is really weird. Normally I can I'll pop out my participants and nothing's showing. Isn't that weird? There's no list. Uh-oh, hang on a second. And I thought I saw Carolyn come in here. Carolyn, hi, darling. How are you? All right, let me just kind of quickly go through the last bit of chat here. Seashell, aloha. Mama Cat, Helen 22. Becky, Ahmad. Martha, hey, Ma, how you doing? Penny, live your videos, Metcalf. Ginger Gargoyle, Jean Phillips. If I repeat some names, forgive me. Aldo, Ahmad, Sherry Leach, Seashell, Jill V, Helen 22, Jean Phillips, Angie Mack. I'm in the process of being ripped off an engine. I learned the hard way to look at BBB. Well, that's the problem. The Better Business before making a purchase. My husband is an easy salesman. Live and learn. Well, the thing is you try and get any other septic company to even answer the phone. There's supposed to be one right in Low, one in Gracefield. And they just like, no, we don't want to come that far, or they just don't even answer the phone. Once they see you're in what area code you're in there, forget it. So I hate being taken advantage of because they're the only rodeo in town. You know what I mean? Usually when you pay cash, you don't pay tax, my experience with most things, but that's the thing. They say, are you going to pay cash or check? And then before they give you the price and you say cash, they give you the price. It's $199 or so, $201 plus tax. Works out $218. So they expect me to give them $220 in cash. Well, why am I paying tax? That's what I mean. That means they're going to pocket the extra $20 in taxes. It may sound stupid, but I mean, I've seen the way these people operate, and I'm not happy about it, but I have no choice. Martha, good. I'm glad you're doing great, honey. Septic troubles are the worst. Yeah, I've been living with septic systems since I was 12 years old, right? And it's all about maintenance, right? And so I just don't agree with this whole $5,000 fine if you don't get your septic pumped every 2 years. It's a pollution fine. Excuse me, I would fight that. And I wouldn't care if it cost me $2,000 to fight that. I would fight it. For the simple reason is you can't legislate common sense. It doesn't make sense not to maintain your septic system. If you don't maintain your septic system, you have to replace your septic system. And these days, if you want a weeping bed, you have to get a really fancy contained one or a natural water. They can go anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000. Why would you not maintain an investment like that? And our septic was certified in 2004. We bought this place in 2007, and we've been maintaining it ever since. This is our 4th septic pump. So, making a big pot of garlic, ginger, chicken, vegetable soup. I was given a present from my grandson. The first time being sick in a long time. Yeah, well, touch wood. I haven't had the flu since the whole pandemic started. And I do believe it's because I've just socially distanced with everybody. It's too people-y out there. You know what I mean? Hey, Vicky Lemire, how's it going, sweetheart? Jessica, Services that people know you need get you coming and going. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's why, like, yeah, Howie and I bounce around the idea of selling this place and buying something simpler. But I realize we would have to move farther north, and I just to get, we bought this property because of exactly where it is. So, hey, Lakeside Homestead. It's going back in legs killing me. Oh, baby. Well, please take it easy. Like, yeah, I haven't done dishes today. I'm just that tired. So I'm going to do dishes before I go to bed. Howie has a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Well, EJ, I'm staying. Make your hi, Joe Mama. We were just having ham and cheese omelets tonight. Well, I made Howie a chicken Caesar salad. I just haven't gotten to making because there was only one head of romaine lettuce left. So, and I had a pint jar of chicken, so I just cut up all that lettuce, and then I broke up a half pint of chicken, boneless, skinless chicken, and then I dumped on like a quarter cup of pumpkin seeds, and then a quarter cup of hemp seeds, and then I with Caesar dressing, and then I Parmesan cheesed it, and then I cut them up 3 slices of dessert bread, which is kind of weird looking, but really delicious. And buttered it for his dessert. So I'll deal with me when I'm done here. Love the picture with all the different looks with the wigs, Bev. That was just 2 wigs. That was just 2 wigs out of the pink one has like a pink wig, and then it has the ponytails, and then then the black one, I have a blonde one, I have a turquoise one, I have a lilac one. I have a tri-colored one that is blue, pink, and lilac. I have the red one, the purple one. And I just wanted to give people an idea of, like, I'm still practicing on patrons. That's why nobody's getting this yet. You guys are going to get on October 30th. Here's the announcement. October 30th, Saturday night. Okay. Maybe 6 p.m. I don't know what time, but on October 30th in the early evening, I'm going to do a public live stream from my studio downstairs. The only thing I have upstairs right now is my divining rods, because I've been energizing them with me. I have divining rods. I have a crystal ball. I have like 5 or 7 decks of cards. I have a pendulum and a mat. And I'm going to be in full glamour, and we're going to have some fun. There will be card readings and everything. You just, unfortunately, you can come just to watch, but if you want a reading, it's a tip thing, right? So, and I hate to say that, I'm not e-begging, but I've paid a lot of money for this equipment and for working on the studio and stuff. And there's also the fact that if 100 people show up, I mean, once they find out I'm going to be doing readings, once they're like, because there are other people that are going to show up, but once they realize you try and answer questions from 120 people in chat just going by. That's why it's like a minimum $2 tip, and then it comes up. And what you do is you tip $2 and you come up and you put a question. And depending on how in depth you want the question answered, if it's a yes or no question, great. If you want, say, the divining rods to say yes or no, and you want a card to elaborate on that, I can do that. But it would be like a $5 tip, right? So it all depends on what you want as to what you need to tip. Does that make sense? Steak is $27 for one store. Can keep it. I'm not sure I understand that. Steak is $27 for one store. Can keep it. Hi, is that lipstick? My yipic. So, Yes, it's a special public live. It'll be in the evening because that's going to be a really busy weekend because I have Freaky Friday, right? And I actually may go live for my patrons before the public live and my because my patrons are on the inside track, right? So what I might do is I might do an unlisted live while I get ready for the public live, and that will be for patrons. If I've got enough energy and I can set it all up and my studio's all done, that's what I'm going to do. Patrons can look forward to a live stream and conversation with me getting ready for the public live stream. So I mean, everybody wins, right? 6 New York strips for $25. Angie Mac Spaghetti, I've got 20 pounds of ground beef to cut and bag and freeze. I'm so glad we hoarded food for winter. Oh my God, I wish we could have. But tomorrow, what I have to do is, it's now time to take the flour out of the freezer and like just put a banana box on top of the freezer and start taking out my bags of flour. They could actually go in the pantry, but I would have to put them in jars to keep them safe from mice. I'm going to take all those bags of flour out, and I have 1 bag of rice I'm going to put into half-gallon jars, which means I've got rice for the next 2 years. And then I'm just going to get Howie to unplug the freezer. And I'm going to, because I can't, it's so boxed in, we're not going to be able to get it out of the porch unless we completely rearrange the porch. So I'm going to just take the lid off and get Howie to unplug it. I'm going to take the lid off because it's not on hinges right now. And I'm going to just drop towels in the bottom. And I'm going to or I'll start mopping it up and wringing stuff out. Either way, the big freezer's getting defrosted. The hinges are getting put back on it. And then my little freezer is getting emptied into my big freezer after the flour goes back in. And then my little freezer has to be defrosted. Because it's, you know what I mean? I don't do it every year, but it has to be done at least every other year, right? Sounds like me. Okay, wait a second. What did I miss? Hey, Skippy, how are you, darling? Bev, I have a septic system for years. We put Riddix in every few months. Been working great. I know, but all that does is it helps break it down, but it doesn't matter. I could have it all broke down, so only 1 tank is this much in it. But if 2 years goes by the new bylaws, I have to have my septic pump. So, it's not hoarding, it's preparing. Thank you, Joe. How are you, darling? Have you been getting rest? Kudos, Joe. You survived. Mwah! Rest up. It's not over. Okay, I mean, it's not the end of the struggles, but you need to, not just rest until you got to kill yourself again. Get yourself back so that you're on a really good, comfortable routine for both you and your husband. Where's Martha? What did I miss on Martha? I missed something. Bev, I'm sure Howie has a shop vac. Howie, do we have a shop vac? It died. Because that was someone just said, someone said, do you have a shop vac? Because then my brain went, oh yeah, we could vacuum the water out of the bottom of the freezer. That's not going to happen. So, God only knows. Hey, Hell House Paranormal. Hey, Bev, it's Lips Chick. Stands for Littlest Pet Shop. Oh, right. Was my daughter's channel when she was 10 and made videos for her LPS animals. I didn't have the heart to change the name. Oh, that's lovely. No, we don't have a shop vac. But that just might be on the list. Hi, how are you, darling? Hell! HHP! Took weekend off and a weekday. Oh, God. I'm not taking tomorrow off. Tuesday, I don't have any live streams. Tuesday, I'm hoping to have I just finished canning my rutabaga video. That's tomorrow. I have another video to edit and upload for Tuesday. Pardon me. So Tuesday, I am going to sit down and finish that friggin' quilt. At least the quilting part. And then... Well, hello, my darling. Uh-oh, yeah, I moved this table, didn't I? What? Howie? Gracie wants out, dear. She just told me so. She just came in. She didn't want a treat. She didn't want snuggles. She's like, come in and then go back out. Okay, yeah, she wants out. Got a small farm in Russia. Oh, awesome. I'm moving to Russia. Because apparently, correct me if I'm wrong, Hell's House, but Putin has made it illegal for you to be fired from your job for not getting vaccinated. And he's made it illegal to discriminate against the unvaccinated. It's getting bad at work. The supply chain issue is killing the manufacturing plant that I work at. It's all I can do to make a full shift. Yeah. Yeah, things are getting slow. Oh! Yeah, so I'm moving to Russia. Howie, let's move to Russia. Let's go. Yeah, but the problem is how do we get out of the country? But things are doing much better. There are entire sections of people. Now, I know it's divisionary and it's really sad that we've been put in this position, but there are entire sections of people that will lose their job. Fine, we'll just set up for the unvaccinated. Why can't we just support pro-choice? We all know why. So we're not going to talk about it because it's no longer a theory, right? Can't call something a theory if it's been proven to be true. Hey, Bourbon! Hey, darling! Bev, I just lost my cousin a few days ago. He was like a big brother growing up. The thing is, we can't talk about what killed him. He died of COVID, did he? You can say that. That's the thing. This is the thing with the narrative. If you can post all you want, even if it's not true, which it is, I would hate to think of anybody lying about it, but you can post all you want on social media that somebody is sick with the virus, that somebody has died from the virus. You're allowed to post that stuff. But the moment you want to post how many people have recovered or haven't gotten it or anything else like that, they take it down as medical misinformation. Yeah, everybody does seem to forget that mandates aren't laws. Yeah. It works. That's the problem. Okay? Is we are in a place in time, in history, where everything is upside down and backwards. There is no such thing as common sense. And we are being bombarded with lies on a daily basis through public and social media, mainstream and social media, thinking that if they say the same thing over and over and over again enough times, that it'll become true. Right? So I can't say any more about that, is because I don't want to come right out and discuss it. But we'd all know what we're talking about. All right? Because I cannot afford to lose this channel. Does it mean I am not aware of the truth? Absolutely not. Does it mean I'm ignoring the truth? Absolutely not. It just means I cannot afford a target on my back. And just because I had a frank discussion about my things that I have learned, that were learned not through mainstream media, not through Google, not through Facebook, I had my video taken down and a strike put against my channel. 3 strikes, they delete your channel, and I am not deleting 12 years worth of work. You feel me, right? It is very upside down. So, made chicken, soup, and mushroom. Oh, Howie! How would you like potato soup tomorrow if the weather's like this? That would be awesome. One of Howie's favorite. You know, it's funny how something that was such a poor man's dish when I was a kid is one of my husband's favorites. I made the best soup tonight with marked down $1.88 smoked turkey leg, made a wonderful white bean soup. Delish. Mushroom barley soup. Becky, I got my 2 shots of you know what's, and I'm not getting the next one. I only got them because I have COPD and I was scared. I would rather take my chances instead. Your birthday was October 6th. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ma Martha. Happy birthday to you. It's actually my nephew Mikey and his wife's birthday today. Yes, they are the same age, born on the same day. Happy birthday, Mikey and Amanda. Mwah. On my side of the family, not the Mikey and Amanda on Howie's side. It can get confusing at times. Hey, boo! Happy Sunday. I have COPD. Well, the thing is if you go by, I really can't talk about it, but you might want to join my TikTok. Okay? Because there are things that can be shown on TikTok that they don't shut down right away. So that's all I'm going to say. Time to move from Canada. Yeah, well, Howie and I, we want to go to Russia. The climate's pretty similar to Quebec, dear? I think he went out. Climate in Russia is pretty similar to where I live anyway. And you know what? I will throw my hat in the ring with any party that protects my freedom of choice. And I'm pretty sure our election was a sham. Ooh, I'm risking a lot. So I'm going to shut up now. Oh, okay. You got it. Okay, let's talk about the potato soup. Okay. I've made several videos on them, but when I was a kid, very Halloween there behind me. No, not really. That's just the color of the clouds I have. Let's put them on fade. And they will change colors. Let me see if I can just tip it up just a little bit without knocking the camera down. So it's sad when Putin is a better leader than what we got. When you don't want to cry, you have to laugh. Absolutely. Laughter and crying, it's the same release. Thank you, Joni Mitchell. I'm making chili Colorado, my hubby's favorite, with grass-fed beef from meat from my nephew's cows and extra spicy chilies. Well, I'll tell you, it went from tank tops and sweating in shorts and tank top yesterday to, yeah, I'm still wearing shorts, but I'm wearing a t-shirt and slippers today, and all the windows are closed, and I've turned the heat on. One day, it went from... It dropped like 10 degrees, and that's Celsius, folks. So it would be like going from 70 degrees to 45 degrees overnight, right? Oh man, I love rainbows, man. I do love rainbows. So anyway, when I was a kid, see, I hated potato soup. Now I think back now, and I realize my parents had 5 kids and living in a blue-collar district. Oh, and my dad was a blue-collar worker. He was a light repairman, and mom was a stay-at-home mom. And I don't ever remember getting new clothes until after my mother died, because my mother was a master at recycling clothes throughout our family. Because you got to remember, half our street was populated with family. So things got recycled and shared. And, my mom was a master at that, but dad didn't know, right? So he had my cousins take me shopping for, training bras and pajama, like nightgowns and underwear. And I was like, holy shit, right? I was like 10 years old. How am I gonna, wow, really? So same here, Bev, but we didn't put the heat on. It's been so hot. And yeah, you're in Connecticut, you say. Is that what CT means? Connecticut? So I remember when Dad, the house they bought, I'll have to do a live, I'll have to do a slideshow, because I shared out most of the photographs that my dad had with family, cousins, aunts, uncles, because Dad kept a videography or a photography history like crazy. But at our last family reunion, I went through all those photos because they were just sitting in a trunk, and I put them in envelopes for everybody who I thought would be at the thing, that they might, if there was pictures associated with them. Anyway, I'll do a slideshow once sometime. They bought this house for $5,500. And the walls were big, huge, 4-foot holes showing the lathing and plaster. It wasn't connected to the sewer system. The toilet would empty into a pail in the basement. And you know what I mean? It was the floors. There was holes in the floors. There was, it was bad. It was on the point of being condemned. But being row housing, it's literally you knock on the wall and your neighbor would say, hello, right? Because there was no insulation. It was just lathing and plaster between, a gap, and then lathing and plaster on both sides. Hey, Timothy, how's it going? So I remember, now they bought that house in 1955. I was born in 1964, and I was 5 years old when they 1964, and I was 5 years old, so it'd be 1969 when my dad could afford to renovate the walls. He had been patching up the lathing and plaster as they could afford to for years and years. And I remember that is synonymous with smelts, because my dad took my mom's upright piano and slid it into the hallway of the kitchen. And then because our dining and living room was like one long room with kind of just a half wall divider kind of thing, and covering the doorway from the dining room and living room into the kitchen with heavy plastic. And I remember felt like we ate potato soup for days, right? But potato soup and smelts and potato soup is what makes me think of that, reminds me, because my Uncle Joe and my dad and them, they'd go smelting, right? And that was like free food, right? So we would be eating breaded and fried smelts and potato soup. I felt like that whole renovation. But I'll never forget my dad. It was like a celebration. My dad took a crowbar and he threw it into the nearest wall. Now remember, he had been patching for years. Just threw it into the wall and said, "There you go, boys, rip her down." And he explained, don't go through the second set of lathing or whatever, right? But I remember my brother Billy finding a rat skull in one of the walls that was friggin' huge. It was like bigger than a golf ball. Okay. But I remember Dad throwing the crowbar in the wall and then opening a case of beer and getting drunk while they tore down the walls so that he could. And then he did drywall. And back then you didn't use screws, you used nails. And then he drywalled everything, put in a new floor. And oh my God, the new floor was later, but we were living on potato soup. So I remember potato soup as my mom made it when we were broke. As anybody ever see the movie Norma Ray, where she's trying to get a union in the mill works, and she goes to a house where from the mill where she works, she goes to somebody's house to try and get their support, and the mill had been putting people on half time, which means they had to work twice as hard, produce just as much, but less pay. And oh yeah, smelts. We ate fried smelt along in the 60s. So anyway, she goes to the door and she says, "We really need your support." And he comes to the door and he goes and he brings back a pot of water. And he said, "There is 12 quarts of water and 7 turnips in that pot. Or 12 or 7 quarts of water and 4 turnips in that pot to feed 7 people. You want me to piss them off more, basically." But when my mom made potato soup, we knew, I didn't know then, I know now that things were tight, really tight. Because my mom would take a pot and she would dice up potatoes and onions, equal amounts of potatoes and onions, salt and pepper, and a gob of butter or margarine if that's what we had. And she would the water would be only like 2 inches above the potatoes, and she'd put those on to simmer. And the potatoes and the onions would get soft and the water would get cloudy. And then my mom would hit it with a potato masher, put in a couple of cups of milk and salt and pepper at the top, and that was supper. Soup, potato soup. It was water, potatoes, onions, salt, pepper, and milk and butter if you had it. Talk about Little House on the Prairie shit. But still, it's like liquid mashed potatoes with onions in it, right? Good for you, Skippy. I mean, we have to support each other, period. This is the whole thing. They've been working so hard at dividing humanity, and they can't. Only if we let it, right? So now, when I make potato soup, I have a couple of videos where it's basically just water and onions and potatoes and milk. But now I make a more lush potato soup, right? So I'll make a video tomorrow. I'm going to make potato cheese soup. Sounds like how I grew up with potato soup. If we had hot dogs, she'd slice those up in it. Well, I mean, my dad wouldn't eat hot dogs. My dad was not a spaghetti fan, right? Or anything of those, like he'd eat meatloaf and stuff like that. But if dad was going to have a steak every once in a blue moon, it's like me. People go, "Oh, look at that crap you're feeding your husband." It's like, no, guys, you don't see it every day. Okay? We eat chicken Caesar salads twice a week. We eat homemade soup twice a week. You know, like right now we're transitioning between salads and soup. But like yesterday, I made a vulgarly delicious supper. Because why? Because my husband eats really, really healthy and he deserves a nice meal. Like yesterday, I took a package of female bacon and I was canning yesterday. And so it was like and tomorrow's canning videos is going to be slightly longer than normal because you're not seeing the whole thing, but you're seeing that I actually am jumping from canner to canner and jars to jars because I did 3 canner loads yesterday. So when I had the last canner load in, I threw a stainless steel frying pan on the back burner. My stove is dying. And I filled the pan with like 5-6 slices of female bacon. And then I sliced the last 2 peppers from the garden on it. And then I sliced a big onion on top. And then I threw in a of cream cheese and a little bit of water, and I put the lid on it and let it cook low. And the juice from the peppers and the onions creamed and then I put paprika on it. And what I did was, it's like a hot roast beef sandwich. I made 4 slices of toast and I put 2 in a pie plate. And then I put all the vegetables and meat on top. And then I put the toast on again. And then I poured the paprika cream cheese water sauce all over top. pepper. Howie was happier than a pig in crap. I'm telling you. But that is actually a really healthy supper if you look at it. But it's actually, it's a big meal for Howie. It's a a heavier caloric meal than he's used to. So, and he only gets that like once a week. Like, oh, we did the stew out, and the thing is like, it's nice to see nothing in your diet's changed. Okay. If that's what you think right? So tomorrow I'm making potato soup. You eat very little processed foods. Well, the foods we used to eat were our own home processed, but he was getting things like bologna and packaged ham in his lunches every day. And the truth is, those were the most important thing that we removed from his diet. We do hot dogs now, but not once a week, more like once every couple of months. Bologna, processed ham, any kind of processed meats. So now he gets tuna or salmon or home canned chicken or home canned ground pork. Okay. Or PB&J, because my jam is homemade and the peanut butter is just peanuts. So we eat really, really healthy, but the one thing that was the most important to remove from his diet was most of the processed food, right? Exactly. Cut out a lot of that crap. I froze the turnovers raw, so I will heat for Thanksgiving. Oh, I missed something there. Please fix the lights. Not good for us with migraines. What do you mean fix the lights? Nothing is flashing. Nothing. The meat is too high in sodium. That is their downfall. That's right. I'm not sure I understand. You want me to turn these off? Is that better? Hey, Dream of Closa. Nah, we're okay. We're okay. So tomorrow I'm making potato soup, and if you want that video, great, because I'm going to make it. I've made it many different ways. You can make it with instant mashed potatoes if you really want it. But tomorrow I'm going to make it fresh. I'm going to use a quart of my vegetable broth, and you can use chicken broth. And I'm gonna make a heartier version of potato soup. So, okay, well, I'm sorry about that. I don't show up if you've got a migraine. Don't show up on the 30th of October. Because I'm hoping Arthur and Mel will come up that weekend, because they if they don't want to participate in Freaky Friday, fine, but they can if they want, because they're going to know that it gets blocked afterwards. It's private. And then I'm going to do the live with putting the makeup on, Unlisted. Then I'm going to do the public live. But Sunday, I asked them to come up for the weekend and get Monday off, so that they could come and help me or come and participate in the Halloween trunk or treating thing. Take care, Aldo. I love that you upload early in the AM. Your vids always start my day. I just schedule my uploads for midnight, because 9 times out of 10, I'm awake. I'm up every night between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Whether I've got to pee or I just got to look at my phone, I don't know what it is, but I like to see the progress, right? So when I go to sleep, it uploads it releases while I sleep, and when I wake up and I check, and then I share it, right? Have you thought of doing a live cook along? Well, I would, but some of my food comes really quick. But if you want, that's a possibility. I mean, I would have to go live while I prepare it, and then have a visit with you guys, and then go live later. Or actually, you know what? There's an idea. I could go live while I prep the soup on our half-acre homestead, and then use that live video footage later in the day to make an actual release video with Howie thumbsing it up and stuff. Like I could download the live and then reorganize it for an actual release, if that makes sense. Does that make any sense? It's just too much work. Well, right now I'm filming with my friggin' phone because the camera, oh, and I feel so stupid. I have to make, even if the people that sold me that camera never see this, I've already apologized to them. I'm going to apologize. I'm going to tell you what happened. Somebody sent me a camera as a gift. And it is a camera I have tried to use before. I bought from another company and I didn't like it and they wouldn't take it back. And I was really upset because it just didn't work for me, right? So somebody had sent me a camera recently and it was the same camera that I couldn't use before. So I apologized to them and got their address and I'm sending it back to them. But I had ordered a Canon Vixia secondhand off of Amazon because that's the only kind of camera I know how to use. Well, the Canon Vixia that I got has to go back because because it was secondhand. It was in really great shape, but they didn't send me any drivers. And don't tell me to go to Canon and download the drivers. They don't let you. You have to pay for them. So I'm sending this back. But now here's my problem. The camera I ordered from Amazon was supposed to be here on the 8th of October. And then once I paid for it, they said between the 8th and the 13th. Well, on the 13th, a camera arrived in the mail, but it was the gift camera. And I thought, because they ordered it for me and it came through Amazon, I thought it was the Amazon camera I ordered, and I thought they had switched out the Vixia camera for something of a different value. So I didn't stop to fully examine what was going on. I didn't see the note that said this was a gift or anything in there because they both were coming from Amazon, right? And I wasn't aware that somebody had sent me a camera as a gift. So I got on the horn to, well, not on the horn, but on the computer to Amazon saying, what the hell are you guys trying to do? Right? This is what I ordered and it's secondhand and it's $300 and you send me this, right? Well, then I went through the camera and the box and I realized this wasn't the camera I ordered. It was something somebody else had sent to me. So I emailed back. And because I thought I was canceling the order, right? And it's like I thought I was going to have to send it back, but it wasn't the right camera, and it wasn't the camera I had ordered, but it was a mistake because somebody else had sent me one. Does that make sense? Oh yeah, I'm going to set up Christmas downstairs. Thank you. Hell. So do you see where the confusion is? The day I'm supposed to get the camera I ordered from Amazon, an Amazon package comes with a camera in it, and I'm pissed off because it's not the camera I ordered. That's the thing of it. But today I got an email from the company that sent me the proper camera because the next day or 2 days later, this camera arrived. And I went, oh shit, I made a really big mistake and I really ripped off somebody a new one, right? And so they said, what the hell? They sent me this. Why didn't you just contact us directly if the camera was a problem? We didn't replace it. We sent you exactly what we wanted. And I said, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And I explained it to them, even though it was just an email, because I felt so horrible. I just factory reset my phone, so it's going to be slow, but I'll post pictures like I did for the baby shower. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is the upcoming wedding, right? So these are the things, when you make a mistake, and it was an honest mistake. I'm expecting a camera from Amazon. A camera shows up and it's not the one I ordered, and I got pissed off. Honest mistake. But it's also honest to own the mistake, is what I'm trying to say. So now I'm waiting for them to okay that I can, because this one I said, no, I made a total idiot of myself. I sincerely apologize. However, and I explained the situation. I said, however, the camera you did send me has no drivers, no software, and no guide. And Canon won't let me print them off. So I'd like a refund. I'd like to send it back. And because there is a Canon Vixia within $40 of that price, that's new. And it's the downplayed version. It's the one I'm used to working with. So, right. I apologize for my post-nasal drip. I do snort a lot, but that's because I have almost no nose hair. And I had my adenoids removed when I was 12. So it's constant. It's either running out the front or running down the back, always. Well, that's the thing. Hey, Beth Delano, how's it going? That's the thing. It's you got to own your mistakes, but you also got to own your behavior of how you react to mistakes, right? It's not just owning the mistake, it's owning the behavior that is associated with them. I'll have my granddaughters doing the cupcakes, and I'll be doing the cake and most of the food. Oh, that sounds wonderful. So, what else was I going to talk about? Oh, yeah. I'm so exhausted from canning, but I've already got my garden planned for next year. Talk about, exactly, grow. So I was writing a letter to my friend this morning, or an email to my friend. I got to finish my letter to my brother-in-law too. Well, thank you. It's my part of my fall collection. I only have 2 or 3 fall shirts that I really enjoy wearing, but I'm sad that I probably will be moving and won't get to do a garden this next spring. Oh, Avon I'm sorry. A Lurverly blouse. That's funny because my uncle Bill used to call me Burbly. And my Uncle Joe used to call me Sprout or Buffy. Called me Sprout, because that was in the days when the Jolly Green Giant commercials were on TV, and then they brought the little green sprout. So he'd call me Sprout. Kind of dreading it. No, don't ever dread. If it's exciting, embrace it. Don't dread it. Just go with it and blow with it. Seeds. Yes. So I've been harvesting seeds too. And someone said, oh, you really should wash the, like tomato seeds or cucumber seeds to get that little gel off them before you try and dry them. No, I don't do that. I put them on a paper towel or a coffee filter and it absorbs that gel and they dry beautiful. I mean, I just rip a strip off and plant it. You know what I mean? So I've saved cucumber seeds, bean seeds, and tomato seeds this year. So I'm good. And I also have a little drawer full of seeds, but I think I'm going to put them in a tin can with a lid just in case, the mice are already. Howie! There's evidence of mice in the basement. I got 2 blocks of poison downstairs, but the mice are still eating the toilet paper in the little bathroom. Just making you aware. And I didn't turn the dehumidifier back on. How is your pantry coming along for winter? It's almost there, Mama Cat. It's almost there. I just finished 19 quarts of neeps and carrots. So that video is tomorrow. But the first thing, and I mean, it's weird, okay? This weather's weird because I still have celery coming up, little baby celeries that I didn't bother harvesting. Well, they're growing. I got a zucchini out there. If I don't get frost, I might get another zucchini. I got parsnips yet to pull, right? And I've still got some bean seeds to harvest. So, but I'm already because I'm already planning next year's garden to be more prolific. Because you remember my 8 beds of garlic? Well, they didn't do well because I didn't know you're not supposed to plant garlic in full sun. So they just kind of went, right? I didn't have the energy or the time to cover them with a sheet every night in the morning to keep the full sun off them, kind of thing. So those are 8 beds that didn't get anything. And the way we laid them out, I could never get around behind them. So we're going to bring the 4 back beds. Then remember, there are 2 tiers of those 8 beds. So we're going to bring the tops of the back tier forward onto the top tier, making it 3 high. And the other 4 frames are going to be set up, a double set, like a 2-tier high one out here for watermelon, and another one next to making my beds 20 full beds out back. And then I started planting them because if you think about it, I had 8 garlic beds that didn't do well. I had beets that didn't do well. My spinach didn't do well. My parsnips didn't do well. So I had like 15 beds that didn't do well. Can you imagine if I I'm gonna have, instead of 14 or 15 or 16 beds that do well, I'm going to have 29 or 30 beds that do well. So, Bev, God's giving you extra like he knows you need it for a reason. Absolutely. Yes, I think you can comply with coming mandates. I don't think I can comply with coming mandates, and my intuition is telling me to leave. Well, the thing is wherever you go, there you are. And this is what I tried to explain to somebody. There's no sense panicking and running. You're only delaying the inevitable. You have to stand for what you believe in. You have to stay and stand. Now, I know lots of people are packing up everything and moving to Mexico and all kinds of stuff. But leaving isn't going to solve the problem, right? Mary Cook, hi everyone. I was gifted 2 24-pound hams and 15 chicken, a 15-pound chicken and 4-pound pinto beef. I'm not sure. Are those pounds? 4 pounds of pinto? I've been so busy canning, gifted some ham to try my. See, that's the thing is I can't even do big shoppings right now because I have to thaw out the other freezer and then thaw out the little freezer. I may be too late. But I'll tell you one thing's for sure. The next time I do go shopping, the end of this month, I'm going to be buying more chicken for canning because, it's just so much easier to have. But I am going to be stocking my freezer. But I won't put as much meat as I normally do in the freezer. I will can half of it because I end up canning it later anyway, right? Oh, you're leaving because it's cheaper. Well, you've been leaving for a while. I mean, you've been planning this for a while, Avonleanne. I'm not talking about running away. This is something you've been planning. Washington is my home state, and we were trying so hard to come back there. Where are you moving to, Avon? I mean, we've thought about moving, to something simpler, but everywhere we go, we're still going to face the same crap. So we might as well stay where we are and work in solution to the best of our ability. Right? Just cooking some Romanesco. I love this Christmas tree shaped cauliflower. Oh, really? You're still looking. We are in Virginia, probably someplace like Tennessee or Arkansas. I mean, I think if we were ever to live anywhere in the States, I would like to live in like West Virginia or Kentucky, right? But really, my heart is in Texas. Right? Somebody said to me, "Oh, you're a hippie." And I said, "Okay, but let me put it to you this way. It's like a hippie and an anarchist had a baby. That's me." Right? I'm on the east side, but one county's vote decides everything. They just put a new tax on us. Where's that, Angie Mac? I don't have a freezer right now, so canning is my only option. Pounds is pounds. That's what I thought. Hi, Aaron. How are you? Yeah, and that's a good thing. Good for you, Aaron. If you know people that are moving, or if we know people that are moving, and then some of them are coming around, or going to be in your state or your province, and you are like-minded, make sure you get connected. Okay? Because what happens if the grid goes down, even for a couple of days? It could be complete chaos. So make sure you always have. I'm actually still considering putting in a landline. I might phone Bell tomorrow, but I think I'd rather ask for CB for Christmas. Did you quit medicating with cannabis? Haven't seen you burn one. No, I burned one. I just am kind of saving it, right? Because I'm going to sit down and have dinner and watch TV with my husband right shortly. Right shortly. I'm near Idaho, but Seattle and the coast decides everything. Well, it's kind of like, that's another thing too. Who are you talking to? I knew you were my long lost sister. It's kind of like me not entertaining the negative narrative, right? Yeah, there's a lot of negativity going on right now. And I could allow our upcoming municipal elections to really piss me off. Because there's people that are running for elections that I know what they're doing. They may be good for the job, but I don't trust anybody in politics anymore. Anybody. Because as my brother John told me once when I was going to run for town council and eventually mayor, he said, "Don't do it, babe. Don't do it." And I say, "Why not?" I mean, he said, "It's all corruption." And I said, "At the municipal level is where you're supposed to start and clean that up." And he said, "You'll either get corrupted, Bev, because we're human, or it'll eat you alive. There is no room for in-betweens in politics. It's just the way it works." And I get it. And I see some of the people that are going up in our municipal elections. Some of them I know. And I know exactly what they're doing, and it's all a bid for power. Okay? Because you can't, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Exactly. I don't have time to get into the negative. So if I can't work my magic with my newfound spiritual path in politics, then I'm going to do it on the outskirts. That's why I'm getting, ready for trunk or treating in the high school parking lot. Why? Because everybody was so proud. When I first put the thing up, everyone's like, "Well, we all do Halloween just wonderful on Martindale Road and Brooks Road and Principal and blah, 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 blah." And I went, "Well, yeah, you do. But what about the rest of us who are outside of town limits and really it's too far for trick-or-treaters to wander? Why can't it be a whole community event?" That's how I work. And I already got a phone call from a couple who's had 3 kids, and the kids are grown and moved out, but they still want to enjoy the trick-or-treating fun, and so they're going to join us. Right? That's how. You don't get into politics to try and fix it from the inside, because you'll end up dead, brokenhearted, or corrupt. Right? You work from the outside in. It's one of the times, working from the outside in. Because what happens is your community becomes more important and more viable within the construct of our municipality. It isn't just a fight for a certain seat in town council among locals in town. This is a whole community coming in and going, and it's right after election. It's right, I think the elections are the night before. So pendulum power works awesome. Funny how all the countries are squeezing for power at once, hon. Well, this is just count my municipality, right? But I have always taken voting very seriously. Now I'm taking voting at a municipal level even more serious. So, this is the biggest power grab. Okay, yeah. But the thing is, and it's really hard for people to understand. Give me a second. Power grab. Remind me. Power grab and what's important. Because I might forget in a second. Honey? Did you have enough to eat? Do you want some noodles and Parmesan as a filler? Okay, well, you can put the pot on with two handles, you know, the little pasta pot. If you can put that on to boil and salt it, and I'll make some when I get off here. Salad never fills him up, no matter how many pumpkin seeds, hemp hearts, and chicken I put in it. He always feels like he didn't get his start, so I make him a little bowl of pasta with a little bit of garlic and Parmesan cheese on it. Power grab, yes. I love noodles and parm, man. I just do. And yet that drove it used to drive people nuts because you either love it or to you, it smells like dirty sweat socks. But it's one of my favorite treats. That's what I'm actually having for supper. I'm just gonna make a cream cheese and milk sauce to go with it, so that I'm not eating more pasta. I'm eating more, right? So power grab, yeah. The thing is this is one of the things that we should be looking at. If there's a power grab, everybody's laying their cards on the table. We may be loaded with misinformation, controlled information, lack of information, but actions do speak. So the ones that are grabbing for power with out and out lies and all these things, the ones that are grabbing for power are the ones that you need to go, okay, you just told me exactly where you stand, right? So then you work outside that narrative. We all know what we know. I was watching Patera at, oh my God, what's Patera? Appalachia Homestead. And she was talking in her car. I felt like we were talking because it felt like a dialogue. But she was talking about how we can't risk our channels by saying too much about how we think or feel about what's going on. Because technically we're broadcasting, but everybody knows. So we don't have to come out and say those words. We can talk around them. It's called talking between the lines. All right? Exactly, Avon Leanne. Hi, Lori. How are you, darling? So once you know where the powers that be lie, then where they stand, then you can navigate around it. You can navigate around them. How? By going in the total opposite direction. This is me. I can't and won't get into politics, but I will support my community with love, light, and joy to the best of my ability. And I've done it for years. I just realize I always feel like I've always been on the outside, but that's who I am. I've always felt like I'm on the outside looking in, right? Always. And that's just because of who I am. Period, full stop. Who I am incarnated here. Okay? So, I mean, I've started quilting circles. I donated a quilt top that a friend of mine gave me, and we got a quilt circle together so we could do a quilt raffle. And a whole bunch of us got together and quilted that quilt, and then put it up for raffle to buy a hot water heater for the community center. I have organized craft sales at the local school. I mean, I haven't been not a part of the community. I always, Mom and I would always go to play bingo on Canada Day and all these things. But that's where the real strength in your community is. Not in town council, because all they do is fight and fight and fight to get into place, and they use everybody else's mistakes as their material to fight, and then they just get in and make their own. Where you need to get involved is on a community level. This is where you meet the people. And now more than ever, this is where you meet the people that you may have to stand with if your community has an issue. So forget politics, forget getting to know town councilors. As far as I'm concerned, everybody in politics lies. Okay? But your community, we are the most affected by those. So it's your community that you really need to get involved with, because that's where the real voices are, right? Angela, you just getting here now? Hi, Andrew. How's it going? Blessings from Yorkshire. Rich Planet TV is very interesting. Wow. I love Patera too. I would love to meet her, right? She's one of those people like Heather the Needy Homesteader. She's like in my soul family, so to speak, right? I've never spoken to her. I've never emailed her, never talked to her on the phone, but I feel like she's family. Does that make sense? Like John, although John and I have connected before, right? My hubby's a council member, most honest guy you'll ever meet. And you know what, Ginger? You know what? It's either going to eat him alive or kill him. Because honesty and politics do not mix. So, I mean, I'm proud that he's a councilman and that he's an honest man. But none of us are incorruptible. None of us. And if we are incorruptible when it comes to politics, then there's no place for us there. And you'll be driven out. So, I mean, I'm not saying your husband's not a good man. I'm just saying I've never met people. I've seen the way my town council operates. I've seen the way past mayors work and stuff like that. I am not touching it with a barge pole, but I will vote. Souls recognize each other. Absolutely. Yes, she is a down-home gal. And like she said, we know what's going on, but we're not going to risk our channels. We're going to stand, but we're not going to risk our channels with that stance. The stance where we're going to come through is the way we deal with it. And that's what I've been trying to tell people. Okay? You can tear at your hair and beat your chest about what's going on in the world. Or you can in the cupboard, honey, above. To the left of the stove. First shelf, I believe. You can tear your hair, beat your chest about what's going on in the world. Okay? Or you can stand, take a good long look about what's going on, and figure out your place and how it's to play out. Okay? Because what is rending our flesh and pulling our hair and beating our chest do? It is an outward expression of frustration, anger, and lack of having anything to do, like how to solve it. So then you go from that. Go ahead, express your feelings, express your anger, your hurt, but don't do it on camera, okay? And then work in solution. Start up a trunk or treating, okay? Start a Christmas card, recipe exchange. Keep the people, even people you don't get to see or meet, like in our Facebook page and stuff, or on YouTube. We need to keep the love light flowing. Keep the ideals of who we are. Okay? The faith that we have. We need to keep those strong and shining bright, because there's a lot of frightened people out there who don't know where to go, don't know what to think, and don't know how to handle it. And we have to help. So, politics, community, absolutely. Because if you think about it, if let's for instance say the grid went down tomorrow, all I have in communication is with what is directly in my circle, in my area. That's my community. We can either pull together or pull apart. So you got to foster relationships in your community and stuff for love, light, harmony, going forward with faith, knowing that shit is hitting the fan. But we're going to walk around. We're going to walk around and stay behind the fan as much as possible, right? I would love to get a whole house propane generator. It's not going to happen. I can't afford it. All the crud going on all week. I kept on missing your live. I don't do live chats, Av and Leanne. I do 2 live public chats a week, and that's Thursday and Sunday. My Monday, Wednesday, and Friday live streams, those are for patrons only. Because we actually do get to talk about some of the crap. We can use the words because it's unlisted. I taught my daughter how to roast chicken and make homemade stuffing in prep for Big T Day. Man, did she do a great job. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. What did Angie Mac? We had solar panels. You guys remember we had solar panels and a battery bank and everything. But then I realized, what if Howie falls off the roof cleaning the snow off those solar panels? What if, God forbid, he has a heart attack and dies? And I don't know how to, because our whole house wasn't solar, only parts of our house. So that when the power went down, the solar would run our pump and some lights. Okay? And we had wood stove. But I didn't want him up on the roof in the winter shoveling that off. And if anything happened to him, I wouldn't know how to switch everything back. I'd have to pay somebody to do it. So my husband's not allowed on the roof in the winter anymore. What's the point of having the solar panels? We were going to have to replace. So I keep 2 5-gallon jugs of spring water in the pantry. And we have firewood. And we'll be okay, right? But we have to change our lives to suit our aging status, so to speak. I know, but the ones that you popped up in, I just missed. Oh, sweetheart. There is an ad for 1 handheld, 1 for 2 to 3 plugins. Well, I might get one of those little battery bank. It's like a battery bank, like an eliminator. They're expensive. But if the power goes out, we have water and we have fire and we have candles. But it would be kind of nice to be able to charge our phones. So we should have one of those things that you can charge up and keep charged, so that if the power goes out, you can plug your phones in and stuff, right? All right, Bourbon. Take care, honey. Mwah. Well, listen. I'm going to get off here now because we've been on here for almost an hour and a half. And I'm going to do one. I have to set it up too so that you can see me doing my cards. So I have to get a proper tripod for downstairs. But how's this going to work? Oh, I guess we could do it this way. All right. So this is how these work. Okay. And nobody else touches these. These are mine. And now why I'm doing them now is because I hate the smell of copper on my hands. So I've got my fingers. I've got these bars resting on my fingers and my thumbs on them so that I can drop my hands and these will swing. Okay? Because these are a tube. These are in a tube, right? So I can't control these. Okay? I'm going to ask a really selfish question. Is my once a month public live streams with cards and pendulums and glamour, is it going to be successful? You know what that just told me? That said yes, but not at first. There's interpretation up to everything. All right, for all those who, I got to wash my hands. We're going to do our closing prayer. So if anybody doesn't want to stay, there's no judgment. Take care. Mwah! God bless. I'm going to go wash my hands and then we're going to close. Okay? Oh, what kind of pasta do you want? Do you want bow ties, macaronis, or spaghettis? You don't care? Are you starting a fire? Howard? Where'd you go? Oh, I hate the smell of copper on my hands. Oh, and patrons, you have a video coming out because Papa is trimming, and that's all I'm going to say about that. Where did my chat go? I love you too. I always love you guys. Oh, crap. I've got stuff to do. I know, me too. Say hi to Papa and give Gracie a hug. Absolutely. No. Those are, you can witch for water with those, but those are divining rods and they give you a yes or no answer. It's that simple, right? I think Howie's going to light a fire. Yes. He was really tired. He painted that truck today. Now he's wet and he's got to do stripes. So I'm going to run a film on stripes. Honey, are you lighting a fire? Yeah. I thought so. Don't make a big one, please. Just kindling in one log. Or I'll be sleeping in the coach tonight and you'll be sleeping in the heat. Anyway, Howie's going to his doctor's tomorrow, so we get to sleep in. There's no getting up at 6. His appointment isn't until 10, so yay. Anyway, for all those who care to, please help me close with a push of spiritual love to each other and to the world. This is one of the ways we take back our power. Okay? We keep in the, and it's not just being in the positive, oh, la, 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 everything's going to be, no. It's focusing, because what you see is what you get. So it's focusing on how you want your future to be. It's focusing and seeing a better future and keeping that in the focus and pushing this away. Does that make sense? Take care, Ninja Honey. All right. Take care, Angie. Mwah. Ginger Gargoyle. Mwah. Everybody's leaving. Take care. Right? Nice, deep cleansing breath. Oh, great spirit, original spirit, source of all. Hey, God, how's it going? I don't know where to begin, God, except to say thank you for all the many, many, many blessings that come into my life on a daily basis. I've been so focused on the negative before this that I couldn't see how lucky I really am. And I'm lucky to have a YouTube family that loves and supports each other, because you know what, God, we're all in this together and we know it. And we want to lift those people up, lift those folks up, God. We want to lift the people up that have been fighting illness, that have been looking after people that are afraid or financially strapped or have nowhere to go or feel like they're trapped or addicted or neglected or rejected. All the negative crap that can happen on a daily basis, God, that keeps us, that it's like static, that makes it difficult for us to connect with you because of all this. So we want to lift all those folks up to you, God, so that your love can pour down over them. And if nothing else, even if they're not aware of it, we know, God, that you're pouring your love on them. They just got to open their hearts and trust that there is a better way. And that better way is love, light, harmony, positivity. But until these people can see that, God, like the rest of us can, we are going to link hearts and link hands. And we're going to ask you, God, to pour your divine light and love down through us so that it shoots out our hands and we get grounded to the earth. And the light is coming from you and going through us and out of us. And we become a ring of divine light that pulses and pulses as we focus on it, to the point where we are no longer people. We are a ring of light of God. And we push that out with all our might. And it makes a big, beautiful dome of divine, brilliant light that pushes back at the darkness. And all the light workers stand forward and hold that light aloft so that other people can find their light, take shelter, and when they're ready to stand and hold the light aloft. Because we know, God, we outnumber them. And even if we didn't outnumber them, our light will outshine the darkness every single time. Because we know darkness hates nothing more than to be exposed by the light. God, look after my friends and family. Keep them shielded from the negativity. Show them the better way of moving forward and seeing the future as it is supposed to be, so that we can make it so. Amen. And so it is. Shalom, namaste, merry meet, merry part, miigwech, blessed be. Peace be with you. Does it really matter what the words are? The intent is what's really important. But the words are nice too. Until we meet again on Thursday, take care. God bless. Mwah! I love you guys.